Hi, sweet girl. Oh, mother trucker, dude. It'd be like that. Look how sweaty I am. It's actually kind of ridiculous, but... Hello friends, it's AyJay. I realized that I was putting up my YouTube channel and didn't have any sort of introduction, Q&A, anything like that for my new friends that may be joining us. So, here I am. Well, hi guys. My name is AyJay. My name's AyJay. I'm a lifelong Disney fan. My family's been going to Disney since I was a little girl, pretty much once a year, if not more. We're DVC members. I'm now an annual pass holder. I've been a CM on and off for a few years now, so we got all the little acronyms in there. Yeah, it's been a good time, and I have been living in Orlando full-time for about 3 years now, but we'll get into that later. I'm currently at Animal Kingdom Lodge. It's very loud here, but I didn't want to do this at my house, so here we are. So I did the Disney College program in 2018, Fall Advantage. I was a deepwater lifeguard at Disney's Typhoon Lagoon. It was so amazing. It was so great. I really thought I was going to hate it. I'm not a huge water park person. I don't like germs, icky things. I associate public water with icky things, so. But it actually was so freaking fun. The cast members there are amazing. Typhoon Lagoon itself is just such a great vibe. And I'm a Goonie for life now. Miss it. My dog actually is named Tilly because of Typhoon Tilly. Miss Tilly. Tilly, gang gang. It'd be like that. So, if that tells you anything about me. About 2/3 of the way through my CP, I was actually deployed to the Plaza Ice Cream Parlor on Main Street in Magic Kingdom. The water parks closed down on and off, so like one winter Blizzard will close, one winter Typhoon will close, and then all the full-timers get put into one water park. Meanwhile, all the CPs and some of the part-timers even get shoved off to other areas, and food and beverage was the only spot I could make as much money as I would as a deepwater guard in the water parks. And I hate food and beverage, so I was like, I'm gonna die. But luckily I got put in the Plaza Ice Cream Parlor, and it was the best experience ever. Like, genuinely was such, like, I could not have been put anywhere better. The other cast members were super amazing. We all still talk today. Being right there on Main Street was just so incredible. Like, literally my first day was October 31st, Halloween. Got to do the Halloween party, and then finished out my training at like 3 a.m. that night as they were changing the entire Main Street from Halloween to Christmas. Like, how much more magical can you get than that? It was insane. It was so fun. But yeah, I did that. I was in Cone Shop, that's what we call it, for about 2 months. Got to watch the fireworks every single night, watch tank fly every single night, parades, you name it. It was just so amazing. So it was actually during my Disney College program that I decided I want to completely reinvent myself in terms of colleges and things like that, and I decided to change my entire major. So I was a triple major, psychology, film, and theater. Yeah, it was a lot. I don't know why I did that to myself. And I decided I wanted to major in hospitality. I really loved the theme parks. I really loved facilitating vacations and memories and things like that. And I was a huge, like, traveler growing up. We always went to softball tournaments, Disney, you name it. Like, I was always traveling, and I love it a lot. So I wanted to be a part of that, you know? And so I ended up deciding to change my major. Well, my school at the time, Wesleyan University, had no hospitality at all, not even really business. Like, there was nothing I really could have made out of that. So I decided to transfer, which was a really tough decision for me, because if you know Wesleyan, it's a very, 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 very high academic school. About a 12% acceptance rate. I worked really freaking hard to get in there, and getting into Wesleyan is probably one of the biggest accomplishments in my life. Not gonna lie. And so it was a really hard decision to make, especially like leaving behind all the amazing friends I had made, leaving softball, when at the time I thought I was leaving softball for good. So, yeah, and so I decided to actually transfer, and I was stuck between Cornell and the University of Central Florida. I ended up going to the University of Central Florida because I could not bear the thought of leaving Orlando and leaving Disney. So here we are, as I sit here at Disney's Animal Kingdom. But I ended up transferring to UCF, and at that time my college program ended, and I did not pursue a full-time or part-time job with Disney. Looking back, that was definitely the best decision. It made things later on a little bit difficult, but for what had happened, it was definitely the best decision. So yeah, then I transferred to the University of Central Florida. I wasn't playing softball originally, but about 2-3 weeks in, I was in contact with the coach there. She let me walk onto the team, so that was super amazing. Spent about 2 years playing Division I softball for the University of Central Florida. It was super awesome. I could not have asked for a better experience there. And it really gave me a solid ground at UCF, because if you don't know UCF, it's either the largest or second largest school in the country, so I was in over my head. Yeah, I started doing all my classes in hospitality. I fell in love with it. It was definitely the best thing I could have done, not only for myself as an academic, but as a person. So I was really excited about that. They're like the #1 hospitality school in the country and #2 in the world, not to brag, so. But yeah, so yeah, and then I did that for a few years, was an annual pass holder, still came to Disney all the time, had a bunch of Disney friends left over from my college program. But I really wanted to come back as a cast member. That was my end game, was going back to Disney. And I don't even remember what drew me to apply again, but there was a concierge position open and I was vastly underqualified, and I applied, not thinking anything of it, got my web-based interview, as most people do, and I was like, heck yeah, we're gonna do that. And got my web-based interview, went through it, got another interview, and was like, oh, okay. I applied for like 3 more things in the meantime, like Skyliner, all that stuff. I ended up going in for my Skyliner interview, and about halfway through, I was like, well, I'm also in the running for concierge, like, and they were like, oh, while you're here, let's just give you an interview for concierge. So they found someone down the hall that would interview me, and about halfway through that interview, this is important, he said, have you ever heard of Kilimanjaro Safaris? And I was like, yes, of course. And he's like, would you feel comfortable memorizing a 74-page script? Would you feel comfortable doing this, this, and this? And I was like, yeah, buddy, I was in theater for like 6 years, not to brag. I was a theater major, not to brag. But yes, I am comfortable with that. And he was like, okay, honestly, I think I would really love you for this role. I know it's not what you applied for, but you know what, if concierge doesn't work out, we'll put you in Kilimanjaro. Like, you'll have a job here. And I was like, ah! It was so cool. So I ended up having another small interview, like a phone type interview later on. And then my 4th and final interview was with the proprietor of Animal Kingdom Lodge, which was crazy. It was very deadpan the whole time, and I was like sweating profusely because I'm used to connecting with others and making that kind of my like in with them. I'm very personable, so when he wasn't being personable back with me, I was like sweating like a pig, sweating worse than I am now. But I ended up getting the job, yay! I was actually in SeaWorld with my softball team when I got the email, and I just like laid down in the middle of the street and cried, in, like the middle of SeaWorld. It was so funny. And I had gotten a part-time concierge job at Yacht and Beach. Again, never would have thought I would have got this. I was vastly underqualified. Usually you have to have like years of experience with the company and, you know, have your bachelor's and all this stuff to transfer in there or be hired into it. So I was excited. Yay. So I started my training in March 7th, 2020. Yeah, that's right, 2020. So I started in March of 2020, and then the world shut down, so that was super awesome. Basically, I got put on furlough by Disney, and so I was still with the company, but I wasn't working. And then it got to the point where they were like, sorry, we have to let you go. Like, they let off, I think it was either 28 or 35,000 people. So it was expected, but it still hurt really bad. I was so upset, working so hard for this job just to have it all go away. And it was really rough, I'm not gonna lie. I worked some other jobs in the meantime, like I worked at a Red Robin, made some good server money, got some good server experience, but you know, I still was like Disney. And they sent out a future interest form, and it was basically like, you're never gonna get this job back, so tell us what jobs you want just in case you want to come back to the company. And they had a list of like 19 jobs. And I put down pretty much everything I was interested for. They called me up for bus driver, which I don't remember clicking that I was interested for, and I was still like, you know what, I don't care, just get me back in the company. So I waited to be called in for bus driver, and never happened. Then I got the call that they're like, hi, we want to rehire you. When do you want to have your interview? So of course I was freaking out, crying, so excited, and ended up not being really an interview. It was more like a, what role do you want? Here's our choices. And I was like, attractions. They're like, cool, where do you want to go? Hollywood Studios and Animal Kingdom is not an option. And I was like, okay. And I literally, with my interviewer, went through each and every park, like park by park by park, like section by section, ride by ride, to see where I would want to end up, which was really great of Disney not to just throw me somewhere random. And we got to Tomorrowland, which is one of my favorite places in the whole wide world, if you know me, Buzz Lightyear. Pew, pew. And she didn't even get to say what roles were available before she went, Kilimanjaro Safaris has an opening, do you want it? It just opened. Do you want it? Do you want me to grab it for you? It literally just opened. And I was like, don't even tell me all the others, like, get me Kilimanjaro Safaris, I don't care about the other ones. It was just, And like, if you remember earlier, I was on the wait list for Kilimanjaro Safaris if I didn't get Concierge. So the fact that I wasn't going back to Concierge and was then going to Kilimanjaro Safaris just seemed like a total fate thing, you know, 360 coming right back to where it started. I was going to end up at Kilimanjaro Safaris one way or another. So that was really exciting. And, you know, I went to Kilimanjaro Safaris. I was really scared about it. Not gonna lie, those trucks were very, very big, very intimidating, but the trucks were honestly the easiest part. I got to meet so many amazing cast members, and the animals, I'm just obsessed with all of them. It's been so, so amazing. Well, a few days ago, I missed a call from Labor Relations while I was at work on a truck. And so I called them back on my break, and I was like, hi, like, why did I miss your call? I don't know, thinking it was for like a medical leave thing I had to do a few weeks prior. And they're like, we have a role for you again at Concierge, do you want it? I like didn't even know what to do, because in my head and in my heart I had always thought like, yeah, I'm gonna go back to Concierge, like no brainer, but I thought it was gonna be months if not years from now. I had only been at Kilimanjaro for like 3 months. I instantly started crying. I was like, I just got here, what do you mean? And probably most people, when they get offered their old job back, they don't even think twice, they're just like, yes. I went to my coordinator's office, I started crying. I was like, I just got here, I don't know what to do. Like, it wasn't for my original location. My original location was Yacht and Beach. And this time around, it was going to be at Pop Century, which I was not expecting. I didn't even know they had Concierge. I guess they're kind of lumping all front desk and Concierge people together. So I was like, I don't know. And you know, I know for my career it's going to be the best move. So I said yes. And I'm still going to be picking up safaris whenever I can, especially since it's more money. But I'm going to be doing that. So yeah, and I haven't started yet. I start next week for my concierge training, and there will be videos on that. But yeah, it's been really exciting. But anyways, that's my story. That's it. It's been a good time. So I actually wanted to go through and do a few of the Q&As that I had. There were like various times where I would ask on my stories like, oh, like let's do a Q&A, and I'll answer them for you guys. So, and of course I had a typo in one of them. I was like, ask my anything, dummy. Okay, so we're gonna go through and just answer a few of them. Also, look at my case. Look how cute. Why am I getting merchandise for a job I no longer work at? Well, I do work at it. I'm gonna be working at it for on and off, but it's fine. All right, my favorite job at Disney, Kilimanjaro Safaris, easy, boom. When did I first start working for Disney? 2018. I already answered that. Favorite Disney memory. Ooh, my favorite Disney memory. On the job, my favorite Disney memory, I think, was New Year's Eve 2018, going into 2019. Magic Kingdom always does like really special fireworks, and the park was open past midnight, so my cone shop was going to be open past midnight, but our leader took the initiative and actually closed down cone shops so that we could go watch the fireworks outside, and like locked all the doors, kicked all the customers out because who's going to be getting ice cream while we were watching fireworks, and like pushed us all outside, and we got to watch the fireworks together, and all of us were sobbing because it was like 2 days from when our program ended. So it was really cute. I missed it a lot. My favorite non-working memory, my mom visited me one time while I was having a really rough time here in Orlando, and we went to Toy Story Land because that's like our favorite, and it was like the last ride of the night. We were doing Slinky Dog, and as we're going on Slinky Dog, all of the fireworks start going off for their Star Wars Spectacular thing, and I instantly was just like started sobbing. It was so cool. We got off the ride, the fireworks were still going. It was so cool. Like, you can't, what? Roller coasters while it's fireworks? You just can't get any better than that. It was so cool. I'm telling you, it's so loud back here. I didn't expect that. But, did you feel lost as a freshman at such a huge school? Yes. My first like 2-3 weeks at UCF were not with softball. It was on my own. I made 0 friends. Actually, that's a lie. I made 1 friend group because I went to a school-sponsored event that was like a board game night, and I went and joined this big old group, not knowing that they were already all friends. And we played board games, and they taught me this really fun game. It was like Risk, but something else. I don't know. And so we hung out for a little bit, and then once I got into softball, those were my friends. I pretty much don't have any friends at UCF outside of softball, which is good and bad. I feel like I didn't get the full college experience at UCF. I think I did at Wesleyan. Wesleyan was much more of a college than an athletic institution. UCF was all athletics, not much of a college. So it was very hard making friends. Go to the school-sponsored events. They're not weird. They're awesome. Favorite place to shop for Disney outfits? Your style is always fire. Thank you. I appreciate that. Zara has some pretty good stuff, and Zara Kids always go to Zara Kids. If you can fit in it, it's cheaper and they're just as cute, if not cuter. Where else? I go to Old Navy for my jeans. I do a lot of small shops. Nasty Gal is one of my favorites. Shein, sorry. I know I need to stop buying fast fashion, but it gets to, when my favorite shirt costs $6, I'm gonna get one in every color. But yeah, the happiest podcast on earth merchandise store, duh. Kidding. American Threads in Disney Springs is one of my go-tos. American Threads. I walk out with something every time. And my favorite outfit of all time is from there. So, favorite part about being on a podcast. I forget that I'm on a podcast sometimes. It just feels like I'm sitting there talking with my friends for a few hours. Like talking about Disney. So whenever I'm reminded that it's a podcast, that's my favorite part. Like when people are in the parks and they're like, oh my god, aren't you from the happiest podcast on earth? Or I'll get a DM being like, oh my god, I love this week's episode. Or like, we just hit a milestone of 700,000 total downloads. We just hit a milestone of 700,000 downloads of all time. We just hit a milestone of 700,000 all-time downloads. Yes, I'm a podcaster and I talk for a living. Here I am not being able to talk. But yeah, so like times like that, it just blows my mind. More thunder. Have I ever been to Disneyland Paris? No. Do I want to go? Yes. So bad. I'm trying to convince Wesley that we need to go soon. My favorite Disney park. Magic Kingdom is both my favorite and least favorite Disney park. So I'll let you do with that what you will. Favorite episode of the podcast? I really don't know if I have a favorite episode. Like we've done well over 100. I don't even remember all of them by this point. There was a ladies' night episode where we talked about like different guest like magical moments and love stories and things like that, and I love love, so that one was really cool to record. And pretty much any one that I win when we do games. So yeah. What position did I play at UCF? I was an outfielder, but I was not D1 material. So I actually am really fast though, so I mostly base ran for UCF, and I also was a bullpen catcher. That's what I got brought in to do, was be a bullpen catcher. When I emailed the coach, I was literally just like, let me be a ball girl or scorekeeper. I didn't think she would offer me a roster spot, but she did, which was super awesome. I ended up not bullpen catching at all my first year. I just ran, which was awesome. My second year, I did a lot of catching. My legs looked so good. But struggling to make Disney friends and find good ones. It's hard. It is hard. Disney is a very small world. Once you get here and you're in the thick of it and you're a cast member, you will understand that everyone has dirt on everyone. Everyone has good things to say about everyone. It's a mixed bag. And you're not going to please everyone, and not everyone is going to be the right person for you. I find oftentimes when I'm in work settings, there are cast members that I gravitate towards versus don't. Like if you don't like the guests and you don't like your job, I'm not going to want to hang out with you in real life. But I want to find more people that aren't cast members to be my friends. So hit me up. Let's go to the parks. Like I see a lot of like my Disney influencer people on Instagram and TikTok and whatnot, and I'm like, let's be friends, and like we'll message all the time, but I've yet to hang out with any of them, so I'm like, let's be friends. But just know Disney's a small world. I don't care if it's the largest single site employer in the country. Everyone knows everyone. So if you don't like your job, don't be friends with people at your job, because then all you'll talk about is how much you hate your job, and it's just not good for your mental health. Do I attend classes or is it online? A little bit of both. UCF is ginormous, so I usually do 2 classes online and then the rest in person. Did you hear that? I just noticed them. But usually I have like 5 or 6 classes a semester. This next semester I'm only gonna have 3, and I'm so excited because I graduate. When are you coming to California for Disneyland? Hopefully soon. My only problem is if I go to Disneyland, I want to make it like a thing, like a full week. Like I know it's not really a week-long adventure, but like I want to experience everything at my own pace, not feel rushed, because then I'll hate it. You know what I mean? Favorite animal fact? Ooh. Probably the one I get most excited about is whenever I see the Patterson's eland. They're huge. They're about 6 feet tall at the shoulders, which leaves their entire head and neck and their horns. They'll take their horns and they'll make flower crowns with like bushes, plants, trees, anything that they can find, and then present themselves to the female and be like, look how beautiful I am, love me, and it's just really cute. And I've seen the elands do it a few times, and I'm like, I would die for you. So that's probably one I get most excited about. Favorite Disney bound? I don't Disney bound a whole lot. Jeremy the T on Instagram and TikTok and all that, you've probably seen him. He's absurdly good, like absurdly. His Disney bounds are always 12 out of 10. Just saying. Yeah, I don't really Disney bound though. I feel like I should. I feel like it'd be fun. Favorite Epcot snack or drink? Ooh, favorite drink, the Arendelle Aqua, 12 out of 10. My favorite snack there though. Right now it's Food and Wine, and I really like the bacon cheddar soup. Not much. It changes all the time. I eat there way too often. If you got to choose a resort to live in indefinitely, which would be your new home? Once again, I'm sitting at Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge. So that would be mine. Honestly though. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for hopefully subscribing, watching, all that good stuff. And I'll see y'all real soon. Some new videos, new content. Be on the lookout, and follow me on Instagram and TikTok and all that good stuff so I have the motivation to keep on going. I do this out of spite. Kidding. Honestly, doing this, the whole content creation thing, has pushed me so far out of my comfort zone. Like, I'm sitting here in public filming a YouTube video. Like, what? I wouldn't have done this a year ago. I'm very grateful that I've made the leap, and I really need to thank my mom for that. She's always the one that was pushing me to do stuff like content creation. So, but if I didn't do this stuff, I would just dress like a slob and go to Disney every day and not care what I look like or what I do or how I experience things. And now I want to do all of this because I like making content, even if it's just taking a cute picture and feeling good about myself. So, thanks, Mom, and thank you guys.